Hi golfers, Nick here from GOLFTEC Singapore. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Taylormade M6 iron and M5 iron. I've got two 7 irons here, so I'm going to be testing these for forgiveness, for distance, for spin, so we're going to be looking at some data using GC2. So before we take a look at hitting a few shots there, let's just go into the technology a little bit. So the first unique thing that is different from last year's model, so as you know, M3 and M4 last year, so M6 replaces M4 and M5 replaces M3. So the big difference is this speed bridge at the back here. So this connects sort of the top to the bottom to give us some stability. The idea behind it is Taylormade can create a thinner face to create more ball speed off the face, as they've done in a lot of their irons in recent years, the P760, P790, they've got a thinner face, similar sort of technology in the M6 and M5 this year, just to create more flex and more ball speed off the face. One interesting thing I noticed is they've got rid of the face slots, and I'm not totally surprised. First thing I would say is they were quite prone to coming out, and we had a lot of clubs last year that had to be returned because of that, so that would be one thing. But Taylormade have said that they've replaced the ball speed factor by making the face thinner, so it'll be interesting to test that out. I've got some data from last year, some ball speed data, some carry numbers. It'll be interesting to compare that. As they've done in recent years, Taylormade have got the speed pocket at the bottom. Apparently it's their fastest speed pocket yet. So fastest speed pocket, no face slots, speed bridge. Let's see if this club's any good. So first up, we're going to hit the M5. I've got some data up on the screen from last year when I hit the M3, just to look at some comparisons. I was looking around 117 ball speed and carry distance 167. So I've set the green up at 175. Let's see if we can reach the green with this. We can hit 5 shots, Pro V1 golf balls, GC2. So we can get some data, compare both of these golf clubs. So first of all, looks behind the ball. I actually quite like the look of this. So the M5 features a slightly different hosel design than the M6. So behind the ball it actually looks a little bit neater. I quite like the look of the shape of it, less offset as well. So let's see how this performs and feels. Pretty high flight, felt pretty solid. Now if this reaches the green, it's pretty long. So this, yeah, over 170. So first hit there, 172. It's definitely longer. 123 ball speed. Slightly up toe, so that's just going to slight overdraw, as you can see on the screen. So it'll be interesting to see what the ball speed was here, because that was slightly out of toe, which probably gave that extra bit of shape. It still caught the edge of the green, decent sort of distance as well. So still over 120 ball speed and over 170 yards. So even on the slight miss hit there, that's pretty forgiving. 3 more. Felt a little bit more solid. Similar shot to that first one, so less shape on it. Probably caught it more towards the middle. It's like push around 170. It's definitely longer than last year, that's for sure. Slightly low on the face that, but pretty good shot. It's definitely going to reach the pin, that one. Wow. That was hot. 182, 129 ball speed. Off the chart, last one. Feels pretty good, I have to say. Now that felt out the middle. That was probably the best strike out of all of them. So, again, good for distance, around the 175 carry mark. I was quite impressed with those hits there. Got some good distance. That the last one was a 176 carry. So looking at those 5 shots there, averaging 173, 124 ball speed. It's definitely up on the M3 last year. Next up, we've got the M6. I'll be impressed if this goes further than the M5. I saw me hit the M5 there. So last year, M4 equivalent, 121 ball speed, 173 carry. Let's see how this shapes up. So just looking at the looks already, you can see thicker top line, more offset. This is actually 28.5 degrees, slightly stronger than M5, but a bit more weight at the bottom, so should have launched similar. Felt pretty good. Feel-wise, I'm impressed with this range. I think improvement on last year, for sure. Straight over the pin, that. Wow. 184. Carry, ball speed 130. Wow. Similar sort of flight. Maybe didn't quite get that as good, but straight, it's forgiving. Pitch right over the flag again. Put it 3 more like that, could be going in the bag. 125 ball speed, 176 carry. Does feel good actually. Hit 3 good shots there. That was about 186 carry. Wow. Ball speed 130 again. 2 more. Just push that a little bit. That was my fault. But you still get the feedback. I knew as soon as I hit that shot that I pushed it, didn't quite connect with it either. Still pitched at 170. So it's considered dropping the averages there. That was a bad swing, but I got the feedback off it, which is good, because sometimes with these game improvement irons, you don't always get that initial feedback when you hit the shot. Okay, so last one. That was a bit off the bottom. So interesting to see how far that goes. That was a bit low heel, but it still carried all the way. Wow. Still pitched at sort of 176. So even on a slight miss hit there, so pretty good test that, with a couple of miss hits in there, a couple of bad shots, also some good ones. So let's sit down now and take a look at that data. You see me hit a few shots there on the GC2. Before we take a look at that data, just want to say in terms of the feel, I think this is the best M-range irons Taylormade have produced. I probably said it in previous videos reviewing the last couple of models that felt a bit clicky off the face, but I think with the dampener technology it's definitely a better sound and as a result a better feel off the face. In terms of looks, definitely prefer the M5. I think it's a slimmer top line and less offset. So for me, if I was to choose between these two, I'd go M5 based on the looks. But more importantly, let's take a look at that data. So I'm going to stick the data up on the screen so you can see, but first up we're just going to compare. First of all, I hit the M5 and I was going to compare with M3 from last year, just to give you guys a little bit of a comparison. So last year M3 I was averaging 118 ball speed. That's jumped up to 124 average ball speed with the M5. Could have been the way I was hitting it, but certainly I noticed a big jump there. Launch angle was a little bit higher with M5, which was surprising, I guess, considering the loft is half a degree less. The backspin rate was higher with M5 as well, and as a result we had a total distance of 7-yard gain up to 174 carry. So anyone who watched my reviews for a 30-degree 7-iron, 174, I think that's pretty long, so definite improvement there from M3. So let's move on to M6, comparing that to M4 from last year. So improvement of 5 miles an hour in ball speed, jumped up to 126 from 121. Launch angle again jumped up a little bit, a degree more to 18.2. Spin rate jumped up a little bit as well, which is good. I think I remember reviewing these clubs last year, it was a bit low in spin, and then the carry distance again was jumped up 6 yards to 179. So big jump up in distance, in ball speed on both of these clubs. Now let's take a comparison between the two clubs itself. So between M5 and M6, what is the difference there? So for me, about 3 miles an hour in ball speed, so 123.5 to 126.2 with the M6. Launch angle within half a degree, so similar. Obviously it was probably quite a good test. You said you saw my shots on the video there. There was a couple of shots, a slight miss hit, one off the bottom, one off the heel, one off the toe. And I think that's always good when you're reviewing these clubs. You're not going to hit it perfectly every time, but the good thing I found, especially with the M6, when you did miss hit it, you're getting a good feedback, and that's one of my criticisms in the past with a lot of these game improvement irons. You don't always get that feedback when you hit a miss hit shot. You don't always know where you've hit it on the face. So I was impressed with the feel from that respect. As a result, we had an extra 5 yards on M6 compared to the M5. And if we take a quick look at the side view, definitely a tighter dispersion with M5 over M6, slightly higher flight as well, and more stopping power in terms of the landing angle. So for me, I performance-wise, even though the M6 went a bit further, the M5 was a little bit more consistent, looks better behind the ball. So my verdict would be, for sort of the lower handicappers out there, I think the M5 would be a good option. But if you want something that looks good and still feels pretty good and goes a long way, I think the M6 is a great option. So thanks for watching golf. If there's any clubs out there you want me to review, just let me know. If you don't already, please subscribe to my other social media platforms. The best way to get started is to find a GOLFTEC coach near you and schedule a tech fit.
The most
Can I ask you something?
Is this going to go in the outtake?
Outtake.